Hello out there folks, it's Dave from Davestation VR, and I'm proud to say that today we're going to be talking about not only the highest rated PSVR game ever on Metacritic, this is the highest rated VR game ever to be released in terms of critical reviews. So you've probably already read the reviews, and I'm just going to tell you how I feel about it. This game is Astro Bot Rescue Mission, and it is a delight. Before I get into any kind of serious review here, I want to tell you a story that I think is a very important story that just happened to me tonight. I had a friend come over who has never tried VR in his life. He owns a PS4, but he's never really been interested in VR. He's never tried it. And I asked him, are you into Mario? Is that your sort of thing? And he said, oh yeah, I love Mario. Mario's great. I love all those games. And eventually I basically wore him down and I said, give me 5 minutes with this Astro Bot game. And the second that he started playing, he just kept going. He collected every item he could. He looked in every nook, every cranny. He played the shit out of that level. And this was a guy who had had no interest in his life. And the whole time he was giddy. Like, there's a stage where you emerge from underwater and there's seaweed on your head. He freaked out. It's just, afterwards he asked me 3 times, what's the name of that game that we just played? What was that? That was incredible. And he said, how much do these things cost? And I've never had one level of one game convert somebody to VR before, ever, to the level that they were willing to buy a headset. So Astro Bot is powerful, man. This is like the best thing we've got on PSVR. The other thing I think is worth mentioning is that my experience with this game was very similar to that of the guy who'd never tried VR before. This was one of those wow moments that you don't get very often. Once you're used to a new technology, I've been playing every game on this system for the past 2 years pretty much, and this thing knocked my socks off. It's so well done. The level design, the thoughtfulness, the animations, all the little details that go into this game, you can tell so much love and thought went into it. And it's just like, it's the closest thing we have to a masterpiece on this thing. It should be a system seller. I'm glad they're bundling it with headsets because it's so good. It will convert people. And I just had such a goddamn good time with it. I know most of my reviews lately have been a lot more of like a break it down style where I tell you all the elements of a game and the graphics are like this and whatever, but this game I can't speak about without being emphatic. There's just something to it, this little magical formula that Sony Japan Studio and Asobi team cooked up, and I don't know how they pulled it off, but it's something that I think anybody who owns a PSVR needs to experience. Even if you think, oh, I'm not into these kiddie looking games, it's too cutesy for me, or I don't even care that much about platformers. There is something to it that I feel like anybody could enjoy. Now that I've gushed about this game for over 3 minutes, let's get into some details. This is a 3D platforming game, much in the style of any 3D Mario game you've ever played, and if you enjoy a thing like that, you're probably going to really like this. There are about 52 levels in total. I think there's 5 worlds with 4 stages and a boss fight each, and then every level, including the boss fights, have a chameleon that's like a hidden unlockable that gets you a challenge stage version of that. And those are very diverse, very challenging, honestly, and they sort of break up the formula. The standard levels in Worlds 1 through 5 kind of reward a slow, thoughtful progression through the stage where you get to kind of admire what's going on while you're looking for hidden items. The challenge stages, on the other hand, are a white-knuckle affair where you're racing against a clock or you're trying to beat a high score, and any death is, punished by starting right back at the beginning. So it's a much different feeling, it's much more tense, and kind of like the challenge stages in an old Mario platforming game. Once you get to the end, there's that sort of post-game where everything's a little bit harder, and it's up to you to show what you have in terms of platforming skills. And it really pulls that off well in those challenge stages, and I had a lot of fun with those. Overall, the game comes in around 10 hours long if you spend the time to collect all the hidden stuff and get gold on those challenge stages, which I think is a worthwhile endeavor. These stages are worth replaying because there's some little wow moment in almost every one of them. And I think I'm going to spend a lot of time with this. I'm going to show this to a lot of people. And even though it's $40, which is a little more than most PSVR titles, there's quite a bit of content, and really it's just the most polished, delightful, awesome little game that we have. This game really gets my highest recommendation. It's 10 Daves out of Dave. Like, I can't say that there's any other game on PSVR that I liked this much. It's my favorite PSVR game. So if you guys follow me and you trust, what I tell you about this stuff, like, you gotta pick this up. I'm not sure what else to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.